Welcome back to the Mod Showcase, everyone. We have a ton of incredible new mods to check out today, including some of the best remasters of all time, some incredible new species, some great new exhibit species, and all in all, over 40 new species mods to check out today. How are you guys doing? My name is Leaf, and we're gonna jump right into this mod showcase here today. It's been about a month since the last one. I don't know, I really like to let these maps really fill out. But yeah, boilerplate stuff out of the way. Mods aren't officially endorsed by Frontier. This is entirely community driven, so keep that in mind. These are just normal people making these mods. We kind of do this for fun, and just quick little PSA, we don't really do mod requests. Yeah, before we jump into this, I just want to address this right off the bat. If you're asking on, like, these mod pages, hey, like, without even saying thank you for the mod, like, hey, you should make the I don't know, Siberian Tiger remaster. Yeah, chances are we're probably not gonna listen to you. Like, suggestions are great and all, but, like, we're all animal people who make these mods. We know what animals are out there, so, but yeah, mods aren't officially endorsed by Frontier. When you do mod with the risk of your game crashing, depending on if you install an out-of-date mod, or if you install something incorrectly, or if a mod just isn't properly coded right. You do run the risk of your game crashing, but you probably won't lose your map. There's always, like, steps to retrace it. So yeah, just keep that in mind, but without further ado, let's jump right into it. The first animal in the mod showcase is the humble little northern moon snail. These guys are probably some of my favorite creatures in, like, the entire nautical world. Moon snails are probably some of the coolest local species that we have in New England. They're also found, like, pretty much all over the North Atlantic, but these are incredible little guys. They have these very large feet, which, if you did not know, the entire bottom part of a snail is the foot. So they are able to spread out, like, out to here typically. But this one, made by Tuco DS, or, you know, DS, is just really great to have. I believe these guys can actually cohab with some of his other aquatic species. So if we do get the chance to put the sea hare in here, which we will check out in just a little bit, you can circle through these, and you should be able to see it. Maybe this one is stuck in here. Evie sent me the update to there. He's just kind of poking out there. Evie did send me the update to the map. I just haven't had the chance to install it yet, but that's the northern moon snail. It's a fully aquatic snail, which is always so cool to see. Alright, next we have the Yucatan Rust Rump Tarantula, and I just had to double check. This one is made by Scott. Scott is our local tarantula enthusiast. I think he actually has a few of his own. But yeah, this is just another beautiful tarantula species. It's always so cool to see Scott give these guys, like, the time of day. It just is always so awesome to see someone who cares about the species that a lot of people don't typically care about or are typically scared for. But yeah, this is the Yucatan Rust Rump Tarantula, named so because its rump is kind of a rust color. Very, very intuitive name right there. But yeah, it's just a really awesome tarantula species. I don't know too much about it. They do have, like, all the information over here. But yep, they are on the Yucatan Peninsula, so if you guys are making a Mexico-inspired zoo, these guys would be perfect for that. A little bit more of a tropical and kind of like savanna kind of biome that they inhabit. Very cool stuff over there. But yeah, they have all the enrichment over here, all the fun facts, so check that out if you want to. And I showed it off like a couple seconds before, but I am so excited about these guys. I had the chance to pet these guys. These are the coolest little sea slugs out there. This is the California sea hare, and they are probably one of the largest sea slug species in the entire world. Tons of different variants on here. Tuco DS, once again, brings some really fun, really kind of like, I don't know what you would, like, it's groundbreaking, sure, but, like, different mods. I'm always so happy to see, like, the diversity of mods really stretched out there. But yeah, this is a very popular species over in California. These guys, you can find them almost always while tide pooling, I believe. Really, really awesome intertidal zones out there. But yeah, it's just a really fun species over here. Once again, California black sea hare. Really cool. I'm thinking we stick aquatic just for the opening of this video. We are going to check out, which one is this? The Emperor Angelfish. I can't believe we didn't have this as a mod yet, but yeah, this one is made by our new friend. What was his name again? Jaquatics. It's like aquatics, but J, sure. But yeah, this is the Emperor Angelfish. Yes, it is. These guys are always so cool. They have these very beautiful lateral lines going across them, and it's just a very striking aquarium fish. Really awesome job over here, Jaquatics. I am so happy to see all of these aquatic species be represented in Planet Zoo, and I'm so happy that you're taking on kind of like the moniker of Fish King right now, because Buff Zoo is out making Zoo Tycoon 1 mods right now. So happy for him with that. But yeah, I've kind of moved on to squirrels, as you guys can probably see in just a little bit, but Jaquatics only brings us the Emperor Angelfish and the Sergeant Major. So yeah, the Sergeant Major is a damselfish. It is a not congregational. Is it congregational? Do they school? I forget. But yeah, it's a very popular fish. You can see these guys pretty much worldwide. I know they're very popular in the Caribbean, so if you're snorkeling or scuba diving over there, you have a very good chance of seeing these guys. But they're just a beautiful fish with a whole bunch of different colors going on over here. We have some beautiful yellows, we have the blues, we have the whites, and of course, those black vertical stripes just really make this species stand out. I know these big habitat species kind of fish mods aren't everyone's cup of tea, but I've seen some really incredible works of art by these, like, anyone who makes a tank for these guys. I think Rudy actually just put out a beautiful, beautiful reef tank with his, with Jaquatics fish recently, and it was just so cool to see. So it's just always so awesome to see that. But yeah, that covers it for the aquatic mods. Let's, no, we're not done yet. Okay, I'm, like, beyond happy about this. As #1 pinniped enthusiast out here, I am so happy that Gaboy covered the Gray Seal Remaster. These guys, they look good in Planet Zoo, they look good, but they came out in 1.4. And currently, Planet Zoo is on 1.20. That's about 16 updates of, like, various skill levels, of various authors, of, like, the Planet Zoo official species and stuff like that. So it's good to know that we have Gaboy and all the other remaster works of art, like all those artists, really cranking out these remasters. And I say cranking out, but that does not mean that this lacks in detail. No sirree, this is beautiful. So it basically takes the gray seal from the aquatic pack of Planet Zoo, and it really, really centers on making these guys look as realistic as possible within the confines of the game, of course. So these guys just look so nice now. A bunch of new variants too, and it got rid of like the purple kind of like splotching, which I'm so happy about. That's usually what happens when you get a bunch of hue saturation and light issues in there, but these guys just look so good now. Gray seals have this little bit more of a dog-like face than your typical harbor seals, so it's just so cool to see that this species has been fully like revitalized, and it's just so good. The coolest thing about remasters, too, is that they don't... You have to be a complete fool to break your game with these. Like, there is very minimal chance that your game will crash with these installed. It's just so easy. You just drag and drop. But these guys will work in franchise mode, they'll work in challenge mode, they'll work in career mode, and of course they'll work in sandbox mode. Definitely check this one out. Now, moving over here, we are checking out Gigantopithecus. This one is made by Cake, and this is one I was so excited for. Scott was working on one, but honestly, at the end of the day, I would have loved to have seen a Gigantopithecus by anyone. They are the largest great ape to have ever existed, that we know of at least, and this is just a beautiful, beautiful model. Cake has included the hair cards from the kind of Sumatran orangutan to allow them to kind of have that droopy looking fur. But what I love about it, you can see that it looks like they still have the wrinkles like on their skin, so you can see the skin level detail right below those hairplanes, which I think is just the coolest thing in the world. So they come with 4 different variants. Please check these out on your own time. I was only able to get a few of them, but they have a bunch of different kinds of like inspiration in here. Cake did like this little bit of a Saki monkey kind of mixed with an orangutan. I know she has like a few different variants that's kind of like Kong themed. But yeah, it's just such a cool looking animal. Here's the female of that orange variant right there. There's something about Cake's style that I am just growing to love. It just looks so cool with like those little fur details and those patterns in there. That just looks so cool. But it's a really awesome mod. If you're making an extinct zoo or a paleo zoo, definitely check those guys out. Okay, this one is probably like the most standout mod of this entire showcase. This is the Bengal Tiger Remaster. Now, Gaboy has worked on this with several mod creators all throughout the time, but he has finally done it. He has finally perfected it. I mean, just look at that insanely beautiful coat. These guys are drop dead gorgeous. Just a really, really awesome remaster of a remaster that already looked pretty good, but now it's fully vitalized, and it comes with 2 different variants too. We have of course, the classic white Bengal tiger. Again, you don't really get these guys in the wild. This is more so kind of like a roadside zoo kind of thing. But yeah, it's just still a very beautiful representation of the tiger. But not only that, but we also have the kind of melanistic version, the dark striped tiger, or whatever, the thick striped, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it is just beautiful. These guys look so regal now. I just love that. Isn't it for the remasters though? We also have the Blackbuck Remaster by Narwhaler. Narwhaler has made his glorious return to the Planet Zoo modding scene with this incredibly beautiful remaster. The Blackbuck already looks pretty good, but Narwhaler just took the extra steps to make it look even better. It's just so welcoming to see modders that care about those tiny little nitpicky details and are able to fulfill like a very beautiful looking remaster on these species. Once again, Narwhaler, great job. He did the female and the male, but showed them opposite times. That's great. But yeah, those small little detail edits on the face especially, Frontier just always does such a great job on texture work and like on model details. But it's like those tiny little, like the tiny ridges and stuff like that, that modders are able to keep a closer eye out for, because, you know, we're not stuck on delivering a project on a deadline. No, we can take all the time we need to really work out those kinks and deliver like a beautiful looking product. So it really is so awesome to see Narwhaler be able to do that. Okay, I kind of had to relegate all of Cake's extinct animals to one pen. There's a lot of overlap in here, so we're going to check these out one by one. We're checking out a Toxodon first. Mixotoxodon larensis. Sure. Alright, where are these guys from? They were found in kind of like Central America all the way down to South America. Toxodons are cool. I don't really know too much about them, but they seem pretty neat. Besides that, it seems like it's based off of the Indian rhinoceros, which is cool. But yeah, I think it's either this one or a different one that you would get in Ark, and you would just feed them the berries and they'd poop a lot, and then you would get the fertilizer. That's all I know about Toxodons, I'm pretty sure. But it just looks so cool. So if you guys are making another paleo zoo, definitely check this out along with these next ones. This guy looks pretty cool over here. Brahmatherium. Sure. So, alright, he looks like a close relative of the giraffe, but we're gonna do a little bit of digging over here. Oh yeah, it is a giraffe. That's kind of cool. Artiodactyla, and the family is Giraffidae. Very cool. These guys seem to be found around Turkey, which is very cool. Very awesome stuff. No interspecies enrichment. But yeah, it is a beautiful, beautiful looking model on here. Again, I feel like I've seen so many of these weird extinct creatures that Cenozoic has commissioned, that Cake has fulfilled. So when I look at this and I'm like, oh yeah, it's kind of like a giraffe, I'm completely ignoring the fact that it has like this tree branch on the top of its head. Like, that is not the first thing I noticed on this creature, which I feel like is something everyone would notice at first. But I don't know, maybe I've just become so accustomed to these weird extinct species. So yeah, that is a very beautiful looking mod over there, Cake. Incredible job. You also have delivered us the Eporanodon Major? Okay, now this is weird. It's an artiodactyl. That is strange. About the size of a sheep. It was found in the Badlands, so it's a North American species. Okay, so it's distantly related to pigs, hogs, camels, hippos, and the pig-like peccaries. So that's very interesting. And then you take a look at them, and you're like, this is just something that... it's just a mess. I feel like this is the platypus of, like, the artiodactyl world, because it looks like a rat mixed with, like, you know, a horse mixed with, I don't know what else, but it is just the weirdest looking thing in the world. I feel like there's so many extinct species out there right now that you can make an incredible paleo zoo, probably even better than the one that me and my buddies made. But yeah, this is a beautiful looking species once again. But this guy... what are you? Plesiogulo marshalli. Gulo is a scientific name for wolverine, so I'm gonna assume that this is related to them. Yep, Mustelidae, Plesiogulo. Golo, sure, whatever. Alright, so they're found in Africa, Eurasia, and North America. That's kind of cool. So yeah, it seems like it was closely related to a wolverine. Interesting. So, late Oligocene, that's about 33 million years ago. That is so crazy to me. Like, I don't know, I can't even remember yesterday. But yeah, it just looks like it looks like a mix between a wolverine and a bear, which I think is so cool. But look at that beautiful, beautiful texture work on there. I feel like colors really stand out to me. And I love this kind of like maroonish kind of mix with like these orange colors. That is just so cool. So it's a fun looking critter. I love that. Okay, these guys are cool. I know what this is related to. I want to say this is related to Gorgonops, because of that very distinct head shape over there. Gorgonops. Like, if you don't know it, look it up, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so it's an extinct genus of large carnivorous theraspids. So yeah, like one of the first kind of like, you know, predators that's a mammal or something, or closely related to mammals, because it's a synapsid, which is kind of like in between mammals and reptiles, which I think is pretty damn cool. So yeah, it was found in Russia, kind of like right over there, a little bit of the Baltics too. Seems like a really awesome little critter over here. I feel like Gorgonops have always been so highly requested in Planet Zoo because they're just one of the most iconic extinct species out there for like anyone who is into it, you know? But yeah, they have that very iconic head shape. They just look awesome. I don't know. Like, I'm so excited to see a lot more of these critters. I love like that early kind of like the Permian, the Triassic. Like that is my favorite era of like, you know, extinct times, I guess. I don't know. All right, there was one more critter in here, a little dumb looking guy. Okay. Okay. You know how I said the other one was kind of like the platypus? I think this takes the cake over here. Okay, so this is Castrocauda lutrisimilarius. Okay, so this is cool. Okay, I'm gonna flex my kind of Latin knowledge on here. Castor, beaver, and then Lutra, otter. So it's kind of like a mix between an otter and a beaver, which I think is super fun. But yeah, semi-aquatic otter-like genus of docodont mammaliforms with one species. I feel like I am just saying some weird stuff right there. But Docodontidae, what is that related to? Is that related to the platypus? Oh no, so they're monotremes. Okay, I'm back. So this guy, mammaliforms. Oh, it's a synapsid. Oh, that's so weird. Okay, so it's not even close to beavers or anything like that. That is so cool. I don't know. I love that. But yeah, I always love seeing semi-aquatic critters. So the fact that we have a Triassic. No, Permian. Was that Permian? Oh, Jurassic. Okay, even cooler. Yeah, so the fact that we have a Jurassic proto-mammal, I guess, is the coolest thing in the world. That's semi-aquatic. I love that. All right, so we're like 20 minutes into the recording, and we've only made it through this part of the zoo. We have all these habitats filled the brim. So let's check out some reptiles. Okay, so we have a new modder on the scene. Their name is Polaris, and they've been doing some very cool reptiles, very cool critters all around. We see a bunch of them today. One of the first ones, though, is a kind of like fictional species. This is the Floris Komodo dragon. This is an entirely fictional new species, which I think is always super fun. But yeah, it is just a new type of Komodo dragon for you guys to use. It has some slight model differences, has some very slight color differences. I love the exaggeration of color on these guys especially. It just looks super, super awesome. But yeah, if you guys want a different looking kind of Komodo dragon, go check this one out. One of the things I love about mods like this is you don't need to use it for the name, right? Let's just say I want like 2 Komodo dragons, but I want them to look entirely different from each other. I could just plop this guy in there. Like, no one's making me use something for the name, you know? Okay, from here we can check out the Tomastoma, otherwise known as the False Gharial. Again, another Polaris mod over here, so it's a kind of edit of the typical Gharial that we have. So you can see that these guys have a little bit more of a crocodilian-like snout. That's because they're closer related to crocodiles than they are to Gharials. But they still retain that very long, like, snout, which I think is always so cool. But yeah, it is a beautiful looking crocodilian over here. Again, Tomastomas, I believe they're from all over Southeast Asia. Oh, so they're just from, like, the islands, which is cool. So yeah, that is pretty awesome to me. I don't know, I like that. We also have the Rio Apiporus caiman. I believe Incognito also made this species too. So if you guys want some variety in your Rio Apiporus caiman kind of habitats, definitely go check these guys out. But I think this guy has something to do with Forest Galante. I don't know. I don't really care for the guy. So let me know in the comments what that was all about. But yeah, it's one of the more recently discovered species of caiman. All right, there's the female False Gharial too. You can see big size difference between those guys right there. But besides that, we have the New Guinea crocodile. This one is based on the Salty. But yeah, the island of New Guinea has their own species of crocodile, which is so cool. But yeah, it's a little bit more of a grayer kind of saltwater crocodile. So if you guys want to check this guy out, absolutely go for it. Polaris just constantly bringing us new species, which is so fun. This is the largest tiger to have ever lived that we know about. This is the, and I apologize to all my Sunda fans out there. I'm going to absolutely butcher this pronunciation. The Ngandong? Sure. So it's that tiger. So these guys were found around like the Sunda region. So kind of like Borneo, Java, etc., etc. Yeah. But yeah, it's just a big ass tiger, which is so cool. So if you guys want this specific species, which is now considered extinct, definitely go try it out. It's super cool. All right, we are going back to Cake right now, and Cake has brought us 2 incredible new birds. The first is the South Polar... No, I was about to say skua, but no, it's the Southern Giant Petrel. Otherwise known as the giant fulmar stinkpot, sure. Someone doesn't like them. But yeah, these guys are so freaking awesome. Like, I don't know. Petrels, like seabirds, predatory seabirds are some of the coolest ones out there. And these guys are just scary looking. I mean, just look at that. But yeah, if you guys want a new petrel species for your zoos, definitely do check these guys out. They are a beautiful, beautiful looking one, and they do use their wings and stuff like that. But what I am here for, because I am a big Galapagos fan, is the waved albatross. These guys are so awesome. I'm actually planning a trip to go to the Galapagos soon, so fingers crossed I'll be able to see some of these guys as they kind of exit their nesting season. But yeah, this is a beautiful, beautiful looking species, one of the largest albatross species in the entire world, and they only breed on a single island in the Galapagos, which is the coolest thing in the world. So yeah, these guys have these very prominent eyebrows, they have these very exciting long bills, but they also are known for their mating dance, which I have breeding turned off, but they kind of clap their beaks together, which is so, so cool. I don't know, they're just the coolest little guys. So if you guys want to kind of make a Galapagos zoo, definitely use these guys. They're awesome. And Polaris brings us yet another animal. This one is from Sri Lanka. This is the Sri Lankan elephant. I believe these guys are based... No, I don't think they're based off the Bornean pygmy. No, I don't think they are. But yeah, the Sri Lankan elephant is a subspecies of the Asian elephant. I know these guys are relatively more popular in zoos than the Bornean, so if you guys want this kind of species in your zoos for like lore accurate reasons, definitely go check this one out. And they have a bunch of cool variants too, which is so fun. Okay, we are getting close. We still have all of these to go. Let's go over here. We can get these out of the way very quickly. Yeah, I apologize for not decorating these habitats though. That's my only apology today. Hooded skunk. This is just a stupid little animal I wanted to bring to the game. But yeah, hooded skunks are mostly found in kind of like the western United States, as well as Central America, but these guys are known for having the big hood. So basically, instead of the striped skunk having like a few kind of horizontal stripes across their body, or vertical, yeah. These guys just have one big splotch of white, and that's really it. Yeah, I have it so that these guys have all their variants as well, that you typically get with a normal skunk. But yeah, it's just another tiny species I wanted to bring to the game. I really like the fact that so many modders now are focused on kind of like filling out that roster, like we see with the Ngandong Tiger, that we see with like the Sri Lankan elephant, everything else in between. Not really much of these guys because these, I don't think they're related to anything in the roster, but you guys know what I mean. The crocodiles too. But yeah, it's just a very fun species to have, really popular in the American Southwest, and a very popular kind of like ambassador animal. So if you guys want to build up like a zoo for lore, that's definitely one that you can bring out in like an ambassador show or something. We are getting into Squirrel Mania. Oh my word. Believe it or not, all of them aren't out yet. We still have the Japanese squirrel. But this is our first one that we have today. This is the variegated squirrel. I was commissioned to make this one. But yeah, it is a squirrel species found in kind of Costa Rica and Central America. They have a bunch of different color variations, which gives them the name variegated. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just a fun kind of tropical squirrel to have in here. That is not all we have. We have like all of North America in here, but before we get to the squirrels, we're going to check out another rodent. This is the groundhog. Cake made this, and it is the funniest and cutest looking guy in the entire world. I know that up in New England, at least, we have a ton of groundhogs all over. But yeah, they're just a very fun species to have, very fun species to look at. They just look like the chunkiest little guys, and they do dig too, which is very fun. Alright, so North American squirrel species. This is the Mount Graham red squirrel. This is a subspecies of squirrel, only found in, I believe it was Arizona or New Mexico. Arizona. Yep, only found in Arizona. So it's just a fun looking squirrel. Like, it just looks super cool. This skin was made by Line Rider, and it just looks so fun. But besides that, we have a lot of other ones. We have the Western Gray Squirrel. A lot of people know about the Eastern Gray Squirrel, but its lesser known cousin, the Western Gray Squirrel, is also pretty cool. They're not as colorful as the Eastern Gray Squirrels, but this guy does have all of your morphs, like the melanistic and the albino, but they do have a little bit more of a kind of relaxed color scheme for the base one over here. So we have those, and please don't tell me that they're starving or dehydrated. This is sandbox mode. It doesn't matter. We have the fox squirrel right over here. These guys are very common across the United States. I know in particular, they also have like a very unique population in Florida. So yeah, just ignore the fact that this guy's T-posing right here, but I wasn't able to find one on the market in time. But this is that kind of Florida subpopulation over here, which does look very cool. I just love the coloration on those guys. So awesome. Alright, so we have the Mount Graham, we have the fox squirrel. Did we cover everything in here? Yeah, okay, so 3 squirrel species. We're moving over here to Asia right now. We have 3 more to check out. This is the plantain squirrel. A lot of people don't really know about this one. That's totally fine. They're found from Southeast Asia. Yeah, Southeast Asia. Really cool species over here. I'm particularly fond of this one because I caught it in ZSU when I was going for like elephants, which I think was super funny. I'm like, give me elephants, and they're like, nah fam, here's a squirrel. But no, because of that, I have a great appreciation for these guys, and they're just so adorable. I don't know, I just love them. They have this nice kind of cherry walnut color on them, but they also do have that beautiful white stripe across their kind of belly line, along with the black one, and they have a red little belly. Isn't that cute? Beyond that, we also have the Caucasian squirrel. This one, the texture was made by Line Rider. And yeah, it's a squirrel found in the Caucasus region of Asia, so kind of like West Asia. Very cool species over here. I love that kind of patterning on their back right there. It just looks so cool. But yeah, it's a little bit more of a relaxed color palette of squirrel, and yeah. But here is one from Kaanu. This is the Indian giant squirrel. This one is pretty fun. I'm actually very impressed with like all the model edits that Kaanu was able to do on this one, because it does look very much like what you would come to expect out of this species. So yeah, the Indian giant squirrel is one that has this beautiful kind of like, it almost kind of looks like a Prevo squirrel, but it has a little bit more of unique color variation. But he has gotten so good at his blending back here, which I think looks super awesome. But yeah, it's just a really awesome squirrel species that if you guys want to check it out, absolutely go for it. They just look awesome. Monsoon has graced us with a couple awesome mods this time. This is the giant horse. This is a extremely beautiful, well done model. I mean, just look at these guys. I think it's based off of the Somali wild ass, which is just the perfect base for them. But yeah, it is just a gorgeous looking horse. These guys were found, I believe, in North America. Their scientific name was Equus giganticus. Giganteus. There we go. Okay. It takes me a while to read those, but yeah, they have interspecies enrichment with the bison, which is so cool. All my squirrels have interspecies enrichment, by the way. I always like to add that stuff. But yeah, this is a beautiful, beautiful looking mod, once again by Monsoon. But he's not only given us that, but he has given us one that I've been so excited for the longest time. This is the Indri, and it's based off of the Shafaka. But yeah, the Indri is known because it's like one of the more difficult lemurs to keep in captivity. It is a beautiful, beautiful looking one, and you can see they do have the little hopping animations, but the coolest thing is they don't have a tail, or at least they have a little nub for a tail. Typically in lemurs, the tail is used as a way to kind of counterbalance, but because these guys are so agile with kind of their jumping, like you can see right here, as well as their hands, their feet, they're able to climb everywhere. They don't really need to use that as a way to counterbalance. Have very strong hands, it seems, which I think is so cool, and they're just very bulky too, which is so awesome. But yeah, another incredible Malagasy species for you guys to check out. I just really wish we had sound modding for these guys specifically, because they just sound so cool. From there, we have another Polaris one. This is the Caspian Tiger. I believe these guys were found... Yep, so kind of like the Caucasus all the way over to like the Himalayas-ish. A little bit of China too, which I think is super fun. But yeah, it's just another tiger species, I believe. Yep, it's an extinct one. And yeah, if you guys want to make a kind of like, you know, historical zoo, or if you guys want to have like an extinct zoo with like recently extinct species, this would be the perfect one to throw in there. Okay, we are not done with our remasters just yet. This is so impressive. So Cake has done it once again. This is the Nyala Remaster. Incredibly beautiful job by Cake Gun here. They come with 4 different variants, which I think is so awesome. I only have a couple in here, but yeah, this is so well done. You can see the fur planes come right down from the neck right there, and it just looks so good. Cake even did it with kind of like this tuft of hair on the kind of elbow, the shoulder right there, which is very cool, and it also has those belly kind of like droopy furs. Nyalas are just some incredibly beautiful species. I haven't really been the biggest hoofstock guy, but I think as I start to learn about them a lot more, Nyalas really do stick out for being some of the most iconic animals out of Africa. They are just beautiful species. And not only that, but the females look very good as well. It's just a beautiful, beautiful looking species. What I love about these guys is that Cake actually based this off of the Neil guy, which is so cool. Like, Cake took the Neil guy and turned it into this, which is just the coolest thing in the world. So yeah, incredible job to Cake on that, commissioned by Mikey. Huge thank you to him as well. Like, I think we gotta give credit to those who are spending their hard-earned dollars on commissions like this to help enrich the entire community, because that is kind of what's keeping this modding community keep on going and bringing us like some really fun species, not only for like the remasters and stuff, but like commissions help keep this little paleo community alive, and that is just so awesome. But moving on over here, we are checking out Once again, another Polaris one. This is the Bornean Sun Bear. Again, nothing too much different from the typical Sun Bear. But if you guys want the Bornean subspecies, you can absolutely get it. These guys are just the handsomest little boy. But yep, it's only found in Borneo. So if you're making a Borneo accurate zoo, go for it. We also have the Javan Leopard from Java, obviously. They come with all of your typical variants that you would come to expect. You have the kind of cherry one right there. You have the melanistic, kind of like the Black Panther. But you also have the normal, which is somewhere. I guess I didn't adopt one, but yeah, it's a really cool leopard species if you guys want a leopard in Planet Zoo. But yeah, just fun stuff. Now from here, we are checking out a modder that has not really been on the scene for too long, but they were back in the olden days. This is one by Mark. This is the Dorcas Gazelle. Mark was always one of my favorite modders to work with. He always had the most beautiful artiodactyls out there. And this one in particular is just incredibly beautiful. The Dorcas Gazelle, as you can see, is found all over North Africa and a little bit of the Sinai Peninsula a little bit. But yeah, over in Morocco, I wish I got to see them when But yeah, it's just a very beautiful kind of light looking gazelle. These guys would look perfect in like a little desert section or something like that. They'd look great alongside camels. It's just a really fun thing to have these kinds of species in Planet Zoo. I don't know. That's cool. We have another Kaanu mod over here. This actually doesn't look half bad in game. One of the biggest things that I have on like in terms of criticism, and it's nothing against like the mod creators or whatever, but it's like sometimes the Nexus thumbnail does not showcase the animals in the best light, whether it's because of graphic systems or like hardware limitations on the modder's computer that prevents them from getting like that super high res shot that like I'm very lucky to say I have a very strong computer, so being able to see this species with maximum graphics turned all the way up is very cool. But I don't know, I just like seeing that, you know? But this is the side-striped jackal. Jackal? But yeah, it's a very cool canine species. Jackals are found all across Africa, and I think some parts of Asia too. But yeah, it's just another carnivore that you can throw into your zoo, so if you guys want one, go for it. Yeah, like it looks super good from back here too. Okay, when Cake revealed this one, I was instantly floored. This is the Pantanal Jaguar. This is a beautiful representation of like Cake's style that I think just works so well in like the context of her mod specifically, because it has this beautiful kind of hand-painted look that I think just makes it look so good. Now obviously it's not like, oh, it's not photorealistic or anything, but it still looks great, and that to me, I love to see. It just shows like behind the animal is a true artist at work, and I think that is just the coolest thing in the world. So absolutely check this one out if you have been playing with the remaster for a little bit and you want just a little bit of new zing in your game. Definitely check this guy out, but that is just so freaking beautiful. Great job, Cake. I mean, just look at these pictures. Oh my word. All right, Polaris, you are bringing us a very strange name of lion, the Natodomeri Lion, prehistoric lion subspecies that roamed across the ancient savannas of East Africa during the late Pleistocene. That's kind of cool. So it's kind of like a extinct lion. That's fun. And I kind of like how you made the mane over here. Like, I know people like Cake's manes or they like a boy's manes, but I kind of like this because it feels like a prehistoric lion. It feels like something you would see like the Romans representing, even though like this didn't live alongside the Romans, you know what I mean. Like it just looks like the idea of lion, and I think that's super fun. So if you're making kind of like an extinct kind of representation of Kenya, these guys would be perfect for that. And last but not least, we have the Asiatic Cheetah. Once again, another species to help round out Planet Zoo. These guys, cheetahs actually live in Asia, which I think a lot of people don't really recognize or really pay attention to. But yeah, they do live over in India, and I believe some parts of like, yeah, Saudi Arabia, kind of? Iran, sorry. Oh my gosh. Get it? Iran, and cheetahs are the fastest runners. There has to be a joke in there. Pretend I told it better. But yeah, they come with the two variants as well, spotless, and I believe they also include the cheetah. So yeah, that pretty much covers it for the showcase today. Ton of awesome mods this week. I say this week, this month. It's been a very busy month, but With that being said, let me know your favorites in the comments. I feel like no one ever does, so this is my official call out to you guys. Actually tell me this time. My favorite has to be the Bengal Tiger. I want to build for these guys as soon as possible now, because this just looks so good. But with that being said, that's where we'll kind of end it. So thank you guys so much for stopping by. If you guys did enjoy the mod showcase, be sure to drop a like and let me know your favorites in the comments below. Even just letting me know your favorites and like what you like about the Planet Zoo mod community. It just goes such a long way, not only for like this video in particular, but just so more people can see that there's mods for Planet Zoo. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Have the most wonderful of wonderful days, and we'll see you for the next mod showcase, probably in another month. But, yep, with that being said, goodbye, and have a great one.